Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future.
All right, let's get into it. This one's big. Carrie Underwood, yes, that Carrie Underwood, is allegedly gearing up for an $800 million lawsuit against The View. That's right, $800 million. The number alone is enough to make your head spin. But what could possibly have gone down between the country music icon and the famously opinionated talk show to cause such an explosive situation? It all started with her performance at Donald Trump's 2025 presidential inauguration.
I mean, it's kind of just all about emotions, and I feel like as humans, we're just kind of expected to have our crap together all the time.
That decision alone was bound to ruffle some feathers, but the reaction? Way beyond what anyone expected. The View wasted no time throwing shade. Harsh words, allegedly defamatory statements, were flying, and from the looks of it, Underwood wasn't about to let it slide. Now, the rumor mill is going wild. Sources are saying that this lawsuit could be one of the biggest defamation cases ever in the entertainment world. And The View, well, let's just say things are not looking good.
Being a mom and a wife and trying to navigate all that we do, and it just gets, every once in a while, I feel like there's just a bubble over of emotion.
Allegedly, they're scrambling, desperately trying to control the narrative before this turns into a legal nightmare they really don't want. But here's the kicker. The people behind the scenes at ABC, they might be more worried than they're letting on. If this case actually makes it to court, it's not just the hosts who could be in trouble, it could shake up the entire network. And get this. Some are saying that Underwood has more than just a legal team behind her. She's got receipts. The kind that could expose exactly what went down behind the scenes and prove that The View crossed a line they never should have. So what happens next? Well, let me tell you, it's about to get messy. Carrie Underwood has always been one of those artists who stays far away from political drama. No big statements, no public endorsements, just music. But that all changed when she stepped onto that stage at Trump's 2025 inauguration. Performing America the Beautiful might not seem like a controversial move at first glance, but in today's climate, it was like throwing gasoline on a fire. The internet exploded. Within hours, the hashtag Carrie is over party was trending everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. People had a lot to say, and not all of it was pretty. Some fans stood by her, calling her performance an act of patriotism. To them, it wasn't about politics. It was about honoring the country, no matter who was in office. But for others, this was personal. They saw it as a full-on endorsement of Trump, and the backlash hit hard. And it wasn't just the fans. Celebrities started weighing in, too. Jason Aldean. He had her back, he spoke out, saying artists should be able to perform without fear of being canceled. But then there was Taylor Swift. She didn't call out Carrie by name, but she didn't have to. A cryptic message appeared on her socials. We all have to live with the choices we make. Subtle? Maybe. But people immediately took it as a not-so-thinly veiled jab at Carrie.
It's a job. There's so much more to think about in life, even in simple daily tasks, like leaving the house.
At that point, the damage was done. The controversy had taken on a life of its own. And The View, oh, they were just getting started. And then came The View. If the internet backlash wasn't enough, the hosts of the long-running talk show made sure to turn up the heat even more. Whoopi Goldberg didn't hold back. She made it clear. According to her, Carrie had to know what she was doing. You can't pretend that performance was anything but political. Strong words, but Joy Behar, she took it even further. Actions have consequences. A statement that, at this point, felt more like a warning. They weren't just criticizing Carrie's decision, they were painting it as something much bigger. To them, this wasn't just about a song. It was about normalizing Trump, aligning with his ideologies. And once that idea took hold, things spiraled fast. Suddenly, it wasn't just online outrage anymore. Real-world consequences started piling up. Protests outside her concerts. People showing up with signs, chanting, making it clear they weren't going to let this slide. And then the business side of things took a hit. Some of Carrie's sponsors allegedly rethinking their partnerships. Companies that once proudly backed her, now feeling the pressure to step away. Even radio stations got involved. Reports started circulating that some were quietly pulling her songs from rotation. No official statements, just a noticeable absence of Carrie Underwood's music on the airwaves. The View's criticism didn't just add fuel to the fire, it poured gasoline on it. And now, it wasn't just about backlash. It was about real, tangible damage to her career. Carrie Underwood wasn't about to sit back.
Now I have to make sure I'm ready, make sure he's ready, get his bag packed up. Do we have bottles? Do I have milk? Do I have all of his stuff?
And let The View tear down everything she'd built. After years of staying out of controversy, she found herself in the middle of a full-blown media storm, one that was actively hurting her career. And that's when she made her move. A lawsuit. Not just any lawsuit. An $800 million legal battle against The View. The sheer size of that number says everything about how serious this is. According to the lawsuit, the talk show didn't just criticize her, they outright defamed her. The claims? That Whoopi, Joy, and the rest of the panel implied she was endorsing harmful ideologies, damaging her reputation beyond repair. That their words weren't just personal opinions, but reckless statements that had real-world consequences for Carrie's career. And those consequences? Huge. The lawsuit reportedly breaks it all down: lost sponsorship deals, concert revenue, album sales, brand partnerships, even the radio play she's allegedly been losing. Add it all up, and Carrie's team estimates the damage to be $800 million. This isn't just about clearing her name. This is about making an example out of The View, about sending a message that media personalities don't get to destroy careers without consequences. But here's the real question. Will this lawsuit actually stick? Because if it does, The View could be facing more than just a payout. They could be facing a reckoning. The moment news of Carrie's lawsuit hit, Hollywood went into full meltdown mode. An $800 million defamation case against The View. This wasn't just another celebrity feud. This was the kind of legal bombshell that could change everything. Behind closed doors, industry insiders were reportedly rattled.
How does it feel to be back home? What do you love about coming home? It always feels good. I mean, my parents still live here, so I come back. I'd like to come back more to visit them, of course, but like holidays and stuff like that, I'm around several times throughout the year. And
if Carrie won, what would that mean for talk shows, gossip blogs, even late-night hosts? Could celebrities start suing every time a panel of opinionated hosts took a shot at them? That thought alone had networks scrambling. And of course, leave it to Jimmy Kimmel to make a joke out of it. On his show, he quipped, "Next thing you know, I'll get sued for saying a celebrity wore an ugly dress." Funny? Maybe, but the nervous laughter from Hollywood? That was real. Because if The View had to pay up, who was next? Legal analysts jumped in almost immediately. Some said Carrie's case had merit, arguing that there's a difference between criticism and outright defamation. Others weren't so sure. The law tends to protect public figures from this kind of lawsuit, given that media scrutiny is part of the job. So now, the big question, does Carrie actually have a case? Or is this just a high-stakes gamble? Because if she wins, this could be a game-changer for celebrity media. But if she loses, The View won't just walk away victorious. They'll walk away untouchable. If Carrie Underwood thought The View was going to apologize, she was dead wrong. Instead of backing down, the hosts doubled down, standing by everything they said. Whoopi Goldberg didn't mince words. "We have every right to express our opinions." Simple. Direct. And for The View, that was the entire argument. This wasn't defamation, it was commentary. And then there was Joy Behar, who, true to form, didn't hold back. "We said what we said. If that costs her something, she should have thought about it before stepping into the spotlight." No regret. No second guessing. Just a blunt reminder that in their eyes, Carrie made a choice. And choices have consequences. Their stance: if you perform at a political event, especially one as divisive as Trump's inauguration, you should expect criticism. No one forced Carrie to take that stage. And from their perspective, they were simply reacting to her decision the same way the rest of the world was. But not everyone was on The View's side. Some media figures started to ask a different question.
It always feels good. It's home, you know, it's a small town, and it's always nice to drive through town and be like, oh, that's new, well, where'd that go? Like, things change and evolve, but it still feels like home.
Did they cross a line? Criticism is one thing, but when it leads to real-world consequences, lost endorsements, pulled radio play, career damage, does that go beyond free speech? And here's where it gets tricky. Because if the lawsuit does make it to court, that's exactly what the judge will have to decide. Was this just harsh commentary? Or was it something more? Something legally actionable? The View might be confident now, but if things don't go their way, this could be the kind of loss they never recover from. This isn't just about Carrie Underwood anymore. This lawsuit is forcing a much bigger conversation. One that goes beyond just The View and into the world of media accountability. For years, talk shows, gossip blogs, and entertainment news have had free rein to say whatever they want about celebrities. Harsh critiques, speculation, shady implications, all fair game. But this case is making people ask, should it be? Should media figures be able to make statements that have real consequences without facing any themselves? Some are saying this lawsuit is long overdue. That shows like The View have way too much power and no real checks on them. They can fuel a narrative, push it into the public consciousness, and walk away completely untouched, while the celebrity on the receiving end deals with the fallout. Career damage, lost deals, public shaming. But here's the thing, if Carrie actually wins, this won't just be a victory for her. It could set an entirely new precedent for how the media talks about celebrities. Because if a court decides that The View went too far, it won't just be them who have to tread more carefully, it'll be everyone in the entertainment industry. And that could change the game completely. Imagine a world where defamation lawsuits like this become the norm. Would talk shows and media outlets still be as bold? Would they be forced to watch their words more carefully? Or would this open the door to celebrities suing anyone who criticizes them?
We were at the airport, and like you do, you gotta get your luggage. So we get out of the car, shut the door. The car was running, the radio was on, air conditioning was going.
No matter how this ends, one thing is clear: Hollywood, the media, and even the legal system will be paying very close attention. Because this case, it's not just about Carrie Underwood anymore. It's about what happens next. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more heated, other celebrities started jumping in. Country star John Rich didn't hold back. He came out swinging, calling out The View for what he saw as blatant hypocrisy. His take: Carrie Underwood isn't a politician. She's an artist. And as an artist, she should be able to perform wherever she wants without being dragged through the mud for it. Carrie has every right to perform wherever she wants. She's an artist, not a politician. Simple, direct, and very much in contrast to the media firestorm that tried to paint her as something else. But John Rich didn't stop there. He went after the media as a whole, accusing them of only attacking artists when they don't align with a specific political stance. The message was clear. If Carrie had performed for a different president, would she still be facing this level of backlash? And that's where this debate really starts to widen. Because it's not just about Carrie, it's about the double standards in the industry, about who gets called out, who gets a pass, and who gets their entire career put at risk for making a personal decision. The question now, will more celebrities speak out, or will they stay quiet, afraid of getting caught in the crossfire? Because if this lawsuit continues to shake things up, nobody in Hollywood is going to want to be on the wrong side of history. Now, here's where things get really interesting. What happens if Carrie Underwood wins this lawsuit? And what happens if she loses? Because no matter the outcome, this case is about to set a massive precedent. If Carrie wins, it's a game changer.
Now I'm better. I know what to do with things, but as a kid, I didn't. So I feel like I always wanted to, but I grew up in a very rural, Oklahoma town.
Yeah.
We really didn't have access. I don't even remember a gym being in our hometown until more recently.
Suddenly, media outlets won't be able to throw around accusations or implications without serious consequences. Talk shows, gossip sites, entertainment reporters, they'd all have to be way more careful with their words. No more reckless speculation. No more casually pushing narratives that could destroy someone's career. And for other celebrities, a win for Carrie could empower them to fight back, instead of just taking the hits. If The View, a powerhouse talk show, can be held accountable, that opens the door for other stars to say, enough is enough. This could be the start of a major shift in how Hollywood and the media interact. But if Carrie loses, that's a whole different story. Because if the court rules that The View was just exercising its right to free speech, it could embolden media figures to go even harder on celebrities. Less caution, more criticism, because if a star like Carrie can't fight back, who can? And then there's the legal side. A loss for Carrie could make it even harder for public figures to defend themselves in the future. Defamation lawsuits aren't easy to win, and this case could reinforce the idea that celebrities just have to deal with whatever is said about them, whether it's fair or not. One thing is certain, this lawsuit isn't just about money. It's about setting a standard. Whether that standard ends up protecting celebrities or giving media figures even more freedom, that's what we're about to find out. At the heart of it all, this lawsuit isn't just about Carrie Underwood. It's about media accountability and the ever-blurring line between free speech and defamation. It's about whether celebrities have any real power to defend themselves against media narratives that can wreck their careers.
I feel like I've always wanted to, even as a kid. It's like I would see certain things. I remember like buying tofu at the grocery store. I had no clue what to do with it. I just knew it was supposed to be healthy and I just wanted to try it out, I guess. It was terrible.
Yes.
Or if they're just expected to take the hits and move on. If Carrie pushes forward, this case could shake up the entire entertainment industry. Talk shows, news outlets, even social media influencers. They might all have to rethink how they critique public figures. But if she drops it, The View and shows like it could take that as a green light to keep doing what they've always done, knowing that no celebrity will dare take them on again. Either way, this lawsuit has already sparked a massive debate. Where's the line between fair criticism and career-damaging defamation? Should celebrities have more legal protection against reckless commentary, or does that threaten free speech? And most importantly, who's really in control here? The stars or the media that profits from their controversies? This isn't just Carrie Underwood's fight. It's a fight over the balance of power in Hollywood. And with stakes this high, everyone's watching. So what do you think? Should Carrie stand her ground? Or is this lawsuit a lost cause? Drop your thoughts below.